Hello everybody, it's Vasundhara Singh Medico and I'm back with another video. So how are you guys doing? I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys are safe and sound in your houses. I hope that all of you all are following the basic COVID protocol, that is to sanitize, to wear masks and to maintain a social distance. So before I start with this video where I'll be primarily talking about the COVID vaccine, I just want to say that out there right now in this world of mass media and communications, there are many misleading you know rumors out there regarding the vaccine. Many people think that it is not efficacious. Many people think it's not safe. So I just want to curb all of these doubts and fears in all of you guys out there and people who are still questioning the vaccine. So before I get into this video and the algebra of the vaccination process and how it's taking place in India, I just want to say that everything that I will be showing in my presentation of this vaccine or the slides, everything is authentic information. I have confirmed it many times, and I am no doctor, but I am a medical student, and I think that it is my duty to educate those in fear. If I could just, make anyone feel peaceful with my knowledge, I would love to do that. And yeah, let's go forth with this. So, the COVID 19 vaccine, I will be talking about the development of the vaccine as well as the safety, right? So, before we start, development of any vaccine is done in a proper way, right? It goes through various trials, and in safety, we need to check as to how safe it is for the general population and how is it killing the virus. So let's move on. So in development, is it whenever we develop any vaccinations, in the past we have developed rabies vaccinations, rubella vaccinations, diphtheria, tetanus, any vaccination, we have to keep two questions in mind. The first question is it safe for the population, right? Is it safe for like huge number of people, right? Second is it efficacious against the virus? This word efficacious is very important. Like when we give the virus, is it going to kill the antibodies? Right now, during the COVID vaccination season, I think the season is going to go on for a while now. Many people think that the vaccination is not working, which is wrong. Because if it was not efficacious, it wouldn't be approved in the very first place. Right? There are many authorities, medical authorities, and research authorities worldwide that are working tirelessly day and night to develop such a vaccine. So I don't think that they will give us a futile vaccine. It's just that there are not enough research and study done on COVID since it never happened before. Therefore, we do not know the outcome, right? We don't know. That is the only thing that's causing the problem. But where there's will, there's a way, and I'm sure that all of us together is going to end this are going to end this pandemic. So let's move on. I don't want to blabber a lot. So I'll be talking about the basic strategy of any sort of vaccination, approval, how it comes to the manufacturing market, how is it used on people. So there are these steps. The first step is the animal testing, where they are going to take that vaccination that they made and they're going to inoculate it in a mice, suppose, and then they're going to see the results. Then they will study the antibodies produced in the mice, and are those antibodies enough to kill the virus in its very first place? If it is, if the mice is alive, if the mice is not dead, if there are not any serious side effects in the mice, we move it to phase 1 trial. So in phase 1 trial, we just take a dozen people, dozen volunteer. So phase 1, 2, 3 are what? Human trials, where we try this vaccination on humans. So in phase 1, there are 10 to 12 people. In phase 2, there are a few hundred. And in phase 3, there are thousands of people, right? So in phase 1, what do we check? We check the vaccine safety and the upper and lower limit of the vaccine dose. For example, right now, COVID vaccination is given in a vaccination dose is 0.5 ml, right? So that means at that dose, your immune system will respond. So upper limit is that dose of the vaccination at which extreme side effects or adverse effects are shown in the human body, and lower limit is the vaccination dose in which no immune response is found. So we need to find a safety dose in between which is perfectly immunogenic. By immunogenic, I mean where it produces an immune response in a human body, right? That's it, and it doesn't cause any serious side effects. So that's what we check in phase one. And also, we are always ensuring safety at every stage. We always prove as to how efficacious it is. So, if it passes phase one, we give it into few hundred people. If even those few hundred people survive, there are not serious side effects, it is efficacious, you know, we give it to the thousands of the population. After that, if it if it passes phase 3, we give it, it is approved, right? It is approved by various bodies, medical bodies out there that approve the manufacturing and distribution of any sort of vaccine. So the manufacturing and distribution it to the population is the approval part, which actually has not happened with many vaccines yet, right? We have made around, I think, 50 vaccines against 26 diseases so far. So, what happens is when these vaccines are made, we don't start from scratch. No vaccination, when it's produced right now, how did the COVID vaccine come at such a fast rate? That's because none of the researchers started it with scratch, right? They already knew that, okay, it might pass the animal testing, so we'll directly put it through phase one. So that has been also done. Now, in COVID vaccines, I'll see there are so many vaccines. We think that there are three working right now, but no, there are, you can see 215 vaccines, COVID vaccines in animal testing. Phase 1 is 25, phase 2 has 5 vaccines, phase 3 has 10, and one has been approved. Russia had approved one vaccine, and that vaccine actually that has actually skipped phase 3 and been approved, but it's actually a good vaccine. It's soon to come to India. I'll be talking about it in my next slide. So, wow, what is the need of so many vaccines? The good thing about this is that if suppose one vaccine doesn't work, we always have a line of vaccines to fall back into, right? So that helps us to, stay safe and to keep doing the research, to keep studying. Because right now, trust me, all of us that are in the pandemic, all of us are a subject to study. All of us who are, going through COVID, all of them are actually they are experimental because we don't know, it has not been studied before, it has not happened before. So yes, moving on, the safety of the COVID vaccines, right? How do we know that the COVID vaccines work? Because many people out there are having this misleading uh, you know information regarding vaccines. They are saying that the vaccines don't work. They say the vaccines are futile. Let me tell you, there are researchers that are working tirelessly. They know their job, and trust me, they wouldn't put a vaccine out there which doesn't work. It's just that how long is the immunity provided after giving the vaccination is a question mark. But trust me, medical workers and researchers and everyone who is making it know what they are doing, right? So let's move on. How do we know that it works? So, anytime a vaccination is given, we prioritize the population because the population has many kinds of people in it, right? So, first, we're going to look at someone that's going to work every single day, someone who's more likely to have a higher number of people around them. Like, for example, anyone that is working, as a, I don't know, a CEO of a company has to have meeting with many people, right? Then all these sedentary workers, including the rag pickers, to everybody who is going to come in contact with people on day-to-day basis and carry out the essential work. So they are prioritized, and people that are at a very higher risk of developing COVID. For example, anybody with an underlying heart condition is actually more susceptible to COVID. Anybody with a poor immune system is more susceptible to COVID. So we know that, okay, they have a higher chance of getting COVID. So what do? We vaccinate them first, right? So how do we divide the population? So generally, this is a description. It's a main outline description. I think in India it is divided into three, but this is like the complete spreadsheet as to how any vaccination is prioritized amongst the population. So we have phase 1A. So in phase 1A, you see healthcare staff, where the doctors or medical students like we have been vaccinated. The first responders, for example, in the hospital, anybody who's working towards cleaning the hospitals, or the policemen out there that we require on day-to-day basis to maintain the law and order in the country, and long-term healthcare facilities. Okay, they need this first. After we are done vaccinating them, we take out the adults that are more in the age of 75 years, and the essential workers again. Essential workers, for example, the office workers that work in these IT companies or government departments, and so on and so forth. In phase 1C, adults above the age of 65 years, and those people that are at a very high risk of developing a COVID infection. That can be a person who's immunocompromised, it could be a person who has underlying heart problem, or it could be a person who has, already they have asthma, they have allergy problems, because the main attack of this SARS-CoV-2 virus is your lungs. What does SARS-CoV-2 stand for? Right, it stands for severe acute respiratory distress syndrome. Coronavirus 2, it will directly affect the lung and the respiratory system. So anybody that has an issue with the respiratory system is at a very high risk from of developing COVID. That is the severe infection form, because COVID has a range of infections from asymptomatic to mild to severe. Then phase 2 is everybody, who are left, or the rest of the population that is above the age of 16 years. Now, moving on, which vaccinations? Now, these are the questions that have been asked, right, again and again. Many people say a lot of things about it, so I just want to clear about which are the vaccinations that you guys are receiving, that I received, that are going to come to India, right? How do they work? How efficient they are? So the first vaccine out here is Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine model. I think that's how it's pronounced. It is distributed by the Serum Institute India. How does it work? By a non-replicating viral vector. I will not go into the details. I will make a detailed video on how these vaccinations work in my next video, because I don't want to confuse my audience. The name of the virus is AZD1222. Its efficacy is 63%. Now, what do we mean by 63%? By 63%, we don't mean ki out of 100 people, 63 people will not have it. No, that's not what it means. That's what people think it means. I'll tell you what efficacy means. It means that it can fight your virus 63 times better than if you didn't have the vaccine. So you are more likely to be fighting the virus by 63% efficiency, if you know what I mean. That 63% of the time that you come across a COVID virus or a COVID infection, you will not have it. Okay, now the second is Covaxin, that is produced in India by Bharat Biotech Limited, which is a proud thing, because it's a wonderful vaccine. And this vaccine has also reportedly um worked against the mutant strains. What are the mutant strains? Easy language में it means कि जो virus जिसने अपना रंग बदला, right? उस वायरस के अगेंस्ट भी काम करता है. तो दैट मीन्स दिस वैक्सीन इज ऑल्सो providing immunity not against just one type of this virus, but also its different also these different variations of the same virus. So that's very helpful, right? Because if that is the case, if there are mutations happening in the virus, then at a very fast rate, then one vaccine for all the mutant variants are always a very good idea. So reportedly, Covaxin has been beneficial against the normal strain that was there. Also, the mutant strains, two mutant strains, as well as the UK strain. So that's a great news. And it's an inactivated virus. By that, it means that the vaccine contains dead viruses. So these viruses, they will enter your body, but it will not replicate. It will not form its clones. But the body will know, it is in sufficient amount that the body knows, oh my God, it's a new foreign antigen in my body, or it's a new foreign material that needs to be, removed, like how immune system works. So your immune system will know that next time COVID uh, virus comes in your body, it will know how to fight it, right? It will develop a better immune response. So they don't replicate, but they are immunogenic. What is the name of this Covaxin virus? It's BBV 152. Efficacy is 81%. There are 81% chances of you not developing an infection once you get the COVID virus inside your body. Then a recent vaccine, it's yet to come to India. It's called the Sputnik or it's Sputnik 5 vaccine by Russia. It's a non-replicating viral vector. The name is GAM COVID vaccine. It has 91.6% efficacy. Any vaccine, any COVID vaccine is been given intramuscularly, as you can see in the pictures. It goes right inside your muscle, zero point 0.5 ml, two doses are given. Now, this vaccine by Russia is to come to India. It is known, as you can see, 91.6% efficacy. Matlab, there are 90% chances कि कहीं आप, if there is a virus entering your body, you will not get the COVID infection, right? So that I think that's great news for us. Now, why do we take two doses of vaccine? Many people think that it's futile to take two doses. Why do we take two doses? Why not one? That is because every after the first dose we reinforce the immune system, so it's like a booster. So we are nothing but we are preparing the immune system at its best. Ki by chance, if any virus, that is that is very close to coronavirus or any virus that is similar to coronavirus or is coronavirus comes inside the body, immune system has everything that it needs to fight it off without causing any serious side effects, without causing any morbidities in the body, right? It also reduces the mortality rate. So if you get COVID-19 after the first shot, right? Many people say that, oh, I got the vaccine, the first dose, and then then I contracted the COVID virus. What should I do? So what you should do is that you should isolate yourself and quarantine yourself, right? So that you'll be helping yourself and you will not be transmitting it to the people who don't have COVID. That is one thing. After you're done quarantining, after the infection has been removed, what you do is that you reschedule your second slot and get the second dose of vaccination. That's very, very important. Because always remember, when I say that the efficacy of a vaccine is 90%, it doesn't mean that it's 90% is after the first shot. After the first shot, it's barely 40 to 50%. But when we give the second dose of the vaccine, the efficacy is increased to 90%. That is the reason why the vaccine is given in two doses around 4 to 6 weeks apart, right? So that's what I've written. You complete your isolation period and you reschedule your second dose. Now, how do they work? Actually, it's a huge concept, and it's a very detailed concept as to how these vaccinations work. But as you can see, I'm just going to explain it in short. This is the vaccine. It's a weakened virus. Matlab, it cannot cause any infection. It's weak. It's dead almost. Then it goes inside the body, but the body thinks, and it will replicate, but it will not do anything. It will just divide. It will divide, then it's taken up by an antigen presenting cell. Antigen presenting cell is nothing but a police officer. So this police officer is going to know the thief and it's going to present it to the judge. Okay, now judge is the immune response. So now this judge will give coronavirus और इट विल गिव द चोर जो इस मामले में कोरोना वायरस है its punishment by killing it, obviously. So that's what happens. That's how any immunity is developed. So the thief is the vaccine. Then the macrophages that are there inside the body, or the dendritic cells, or the immune cells we call it, will show it to the immune response. It will show it antigen presenting cells. The immunity of the body that has T cells and B cells will recognize it. They will proliferate, and they will cause an immune response. So by weakened or inactivated virus we provide immunity. Now, suppose a real virus enters your body, your immune system will know exactly how to respond. It's like chickenpox. It's like if you get chickenpox once, it's less likely you're going to get it again. It's the same concept. It is see, this is the basic concept behind any vaccine given out there. So as you can see, virus replicates, antigen presenting cells, coronavirus peptide, immune response, right? Now, what are the side effects of the vaccine? Now, many people, they think that these side effects of the vaccines are causing them to be infected with the coronavirus, which is wrong. Okay, which is wrong because obviously, as I said, researchers know what they are doing. They are not going to put such a huge population at risk of developing COVID. Where while we are already fighting the pandemic and are we are trying to kind of redevelop our economy. Obviously nobody would want their population to suffer, so many people think that this common side effects are actually adverse effects, or it is the reason that they actually have COVID. They could have avoided the vaccine and then not have these side effects. So I just want to clear all of that. Okay, so the fact out here is that these are the common side effects that can be seen. It cannot be seen, but it also can be seen, and it is normal because at least there is some part of the virus and there is an immune response. There is an immune response, a slight immune response that will cause these side effects in the very first place, right? As it is tiredness, headache, muscle pain, chills, joint pain, nausea, fever, because it's an intramuscular injection, it goes right inside your muscles. It's painful. So if it's painful, there's going to be swelling, redness, all of these things. So then we give the second dose, which is more intense, and these start within 1 to 2 days of the vaccine. It lasts for around 2 to 3 days, not more than that. So yeah, this does. So the vaccine is not causing you to contract COVID. It is preventing you. So this is just a small price you have to pay to prevent the development of the fulminant uh, severity of the coronavirus infection. Then, when not to get vaccinated? Okay, now this is a very, very important thing that I want to address. How do you know that your vaccination is not supposed to happen? So, remember one thing, that before you get vaccinated, you have to tell your doctor whether, what your age is. Do you have severe allergy? Do you have asthma symptoms? Do you have chronic obstructive pulmonary disorder, that is COPD? Any underlying infections, so that we can we will not give vaccination if you have any sort of allergy, because it can cause a very bad reaction and the person can die. So therefore that is very important. It's to be kept in mind. The allergy can either be from the vaccine, or it can be because of the components that are there in the vaccine. In vaccine, always remember that it's not just the killed virus. There are also some, adjuvants. What are the adjuvants? Like immunomodulators that are going to, prep up your immune system even more. So, if the person is allergic to any of these, you know, vaccine components, then the person is not to be vaccinated. And these are the symptoms: cough, itchy nose, runny nose, blisters, vomiting. The person is teary eyed, there's edema, redness, itching, you know, all of these things. Now, moving ahead, also in children below 6 years of age, immunocompromised people who have HIV or SLE or something like that, pregnant or lactating females, they are not to be vaccinated because studies have not been done on the outcome, uh, you know, on the outcome. That's it. That's what I'm going to say. Okay, can't frame my sentence. Now, the key points regarding this is that it's a very important thing. Many people, they get vaccinated, like as you can see here, and suppose you are vaccinated and you come in face with COVID-19 virus. What will happen is that yeah, SARS-CoV-2 virus will enter your body, but you're going to be asymptomatic, but you still can transmit it to other people. So even though you have gotten the vaccinations, you have to wear a mask, You have to wash and sanitize your hand, and you have to maintain a social distance. That is very, very, very important. Moving ahead, we don't know how long the immunity will last even after giving the second dose, because we are still a study. All of us in the pandemic who are going through COVID, who have COVID, we all are a case study actually, because it's not been happened before. So we need to stop the vaccination hesitancy. It's good for you, it's important. Please take it. Please tell people who need it to take it. I am here to dispel any misconceptions regarding it, and let's get educated about the risks and the benefits. It's very, very important, right? People who are pregnant, children, immunocompromised are not to be vaccinated. People who are allergic are not to be vaccinated. How do we know allergy? Well, around 15 minutes after giving vaccination, if there are any symptoms, that means the person is allergic. So yeah, there are protocols to combat that. I think that amidst this pandemic, because there is so much information, so much wrong information out there, that people are just scared. And let me tell you, you are scared only if you don't know enough about it, right? We were scared of, suppose if I told you that you were going through rhinopharyngitis is a very fancy name for cough and cold, but cough and cold is normal, right? So, because you didn't know that rhinopharyngitis is actually a scientific name of cough and cold, you were scared. So that's what I say. Education is the best antidote to fear. So educate yourself, educate others, educate everyone with authentic information. And remember, coming to information, where can you get authentic information? Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, on their website, guys, they have all your FAQs answered. Anything queries you have regarding vaccinations, any vaccinations that are going to come up, what are the side effects, what are the adverse reactions, is it safe, when will you get the vaccination, when should you get the vaccination, you know. And also, please download the OG by Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. That is the operation guidelines. That's going to tell you everything about the COVID vaccination protocol happening in India right now. Right? So that's authentic information. No rumors, no fear, just complete, serenity. That's what I want. So please share this video, stay updated, and you please subscribe to my channel for more such COVID information, because I think around next week I'll be coming up with COVID virus and everything that COVID does after its infection. So there are some post-COVID syndromes that happen in your heart, in your lungs, and so on and so forth. Then I will also be coming up with what are the treatment measures, right? What are the treatment measures that need to be followed to prevent COVID? So that's what I wanted to say through this video. All of the information that I've given you is quite authentic, and I hope that it helps you. Remember one thing: if you feel feverish, chill, colds, all these COVID symptoms, please don't go and get admitted. There are no beds available in the hospital. Okay, try to use simple like paracetamol, have fluids, have good food, try to recover, and try to quarantine yourself. Unless and until it gets too much out of hand, please avoid social interactions and stay safe. And I am sure that one day all of us are going to be done with this pandemic, because the only reason why it's so bad is because we don't know enough about it. And once we know, we are humans. We are going to find a way to fight it all and to get back our peace, our love, our family, our friends. And I hope all of you guys are doing great, and I just want you guys to stay positive, as positive as you can, right? And yeah, don't forget to subscribe and share it with your friends as much as you possibly can. I want people to know and have some authentic information regarding the vaccine, right? Help, if you're going to be future doctors or future engineers, you know that you have to educate people. You will be helping people by telling them the right thing and by removing the fear, because fear causes worse outcomes, right? Okay, then bye guys. Have a great day.